Princess Anne's tearful courtroom bombshell, the Queen's secret letters, and a monarchy in crisis. These letters, part of Queen Elizabeth's private estate, have been kept hidden for decades, and their contents could potentially reshape the monarchy's future. Princess Anne just did the unthinkable. In a royal courtroom packed with secrets and silence, she broke down in tears, and her final words left King Charles speechless and crying. What could have moved the hardest-working royal to speak out, and why now? This story is real, emotional, and stunning, from the Queen's hidden letters to a shocking memory of a private conversation with Queen Elizabeth that could rewrite the monarchy's future. You won't believe what Anne revealed about Diana, William, and Catherine. Please stick with us, because you'll see the royals in a way you never imagined before by the end. The courtroom standoff that stunned the monarchy. The unexpected nature of Princess Anne's courtroom speech left everyone in shock. No one anticipated her breaking down before family members, lawyers, and the press. She confidently walked to the stand, but her pale face hinted at the personal nature of her appearance. The courtroom discussed the Queen's private estate documents, a sensitive topic. Then, Anne's surprising words changed the course of the discussion. As she began, her voice shook. She was not just reading a statement, but sharing years of emotions, memories, and truths. Then came the moment that froze the room. "I remember something my mother once told me," she said, pausing as tears filled her eyes. "The crown must pass through William, not just by birth, but by heart." The room went silent. All eyes turned to King Charles, who sat still except for raising a hand to wipe away a tear. The press noticed. The king had cried. Anne did not stay longer. She left quietly, leaving everyone in shock. Her words carried a more profound meaning. They were a message from Queen Elizabeth, shared through her daughter. It was not just about who would take the throne, but about legacy, leadership, and love. But what led to this moment, and why now? That raises questions about the Queen's sealed documents. The Queen's sealed documents. Certain documents from Queen Elizabeth's private estate were kept secret for decades. These documents were not public records. They included handwritten letters and personal reflections meant only for the family. Now, these documents are part of a legal battle. The case started when lawyers questioned whether parts of the Queen's private will and estate could affect public funds and royal property management. However, as the hearing began, it revealed deeper issues. What was the Queen hiding, and why? Among the uncovered documents was a set of personal writings known as the Windsor letters. They provide deep insight into the struggles within the House of Windsor. Insiders say these writings show the Queen's thoughts about her children and her concerns about the future of the crown. Legal experts say there are signs that the Queen preferred a succession plan focused on stability rather than tradition. Did this hint at bypassing Charles? Or was it just a grandmother showing support for William? Princess Anne is now part of this story. Known for her discretion, she has called for more openness this time. The public has a right to understand what the monarchy truly stands for, she reportedly told a court official. Her statement surprised royal watchers, as she had never publicly challenged the family. But beyond the document's shocking content, Anne's memory of a private conversation changed everything. The memory that changed everything. Anne's calm demeanor belied the weight of her words. The crown must pass through William, not just by birth, but by heart. This statement, born from a memory of a conversation with her mother, Queen Elizabeth, during a walk at Balmoral years before, revealed the deep-seated tensions within the royal family. The Queen's wish for the monarchy to be led by someone who could balance duty and empathy, someone who understood the people, not just the throne, was a revelation that shook the room. For King Charles, who sat close by, this message felt direct. It suggested doubt rather than outright rejection. Anne's words resonated with what the late Princess Diana hoped for: William leading with love, not just by bloodline. Some observers saw Anne's statement as a subtle criticism, but she remained calm and didn't show anger. Her message was clear and powerful. Why did Anne, usually loyal, choose to speak up now? The answer may lie in a bond that formed quietly between Anne and Diana behind palace walls. Anne and Diana, a bond the world never saw. In public, Anne and Diana appeared to be opposites. Anne was practical and traditional and kept her life private, while Diana was glamorous, emotional, and loved by the media. However, behind closed doors, they shared a deep bond based on mutual understanding and survival. "People thought we were at odds," Anne privately said, "but we understood each other." Both women were outsiders, misunderstood by a system that expected them to stay silent. Anne, who did not seek the spotlight, was troubled by how the press treated Diana. When Diana's marriage fell apart, Anne quietly supported her. There were no public statements, just late-night phone calls, quiet moments at Windsor, and support in family meetings. After Diana died, Anne wore a bracelet Diana had given her under her sleeve. In court, her tribute was a strong sign of loyalty. By supporting William, Anne honored her mother's words and showed Diana's wish for a caring monarchy focused on compassion instead of appearances. When Anne's loyalties became clearer, the next chapter revealed the ongoing tension with her brother, the fractured sibling dynamic between Anne and Charles. Anne and Charles have always walked separate paths. They are close in duty, but not in feelings. Although they grew up in identical palaces with the same parents, their roles as royals set them apart early on. Charles dreams of making changes and exploring ideas, while Anne focuses on doing things quietly and steadily. They spent little time together as children, even in the same place, because royal rules made connecting hard. Charles turned to books, while Anne found joy in horses. As adults, their differences grew. Charles relies on Camilla for support, while Anne watches from a distance. Their mother, Queen Elizabeth, worked to ease their tensions and find compromises for years. But now that she is gone, that balance seems broken. In court, Anne spoke softly, but her words carried heavy meanings. Some believe it was a long-awaited moment of understanding between the siblings, not out of anger but from their shared love for the monarchy. While Charles cried, Anne let go of the past. The big question now is, what happens to the monarchy when the strongest bond, blood, is not strong enough? Next, we will see what Anne always depended on and how she may have just changed her rules. Anne's steadfast role in the royal machine. Princess Anne is known for her hard work and dedication. People often call her the engine of the monarchy. Over the years, she has supported more than 300 charities and attended many events, all without seeking attention. Recently, she surprised everyone during a court appearance by prioritizing her principles over royal customs. She chose to tell the truth instead of just supporting the crown. Many observers were surprised by this change. One aide said, "If Anne speaks out, something must be very wrong." Usually reserved and focused on her duties, Anne's testimony revealed her strong commitment to her legacy. In a decisive moment, she said, "I was raised to serve, not to speak, but silence now would be betrayal." This marked a turning point for the monarchy. Anne shared her late mother's views on Princess Catherine. Queen Elizabeth saw Catherine as essential to the royal family's future. This changed how the public viewed Catherine as more than supportive. They recognized her as a key figure in the monarchy's survival. The Queen was always careful with her words, but privately, she shared her true feelings. Anne emphasized she saw strength in her, not for show, but for service. This statement resonated with King Charles, who seemed visibly affected, marking a significant change in his usual calm demeanor. King Charles's silent tears, was this the final straw? King Charles III looked calm, but his eyes showed his feelings. During Princess Anne's speech about their mother's beliefs, he was moved. Tears running down his face as he whispered to Camilla, "She never told me that." This moment was filled with unspoken thoughts between the siblings and highlighted Charles's pressure as king without their mother's support. Camilla seemed nervous, as if preparing for something important. The world was watching, and the king's tears said a lot. When Anne finished speaking, there was silence, shifting attention from legal issues to the pain of their shared past. To understand Princess Anne's strength, it helps to see her childhood in a palace where duty came before love. Their mother became queen when Anne was only 18 months old, putting pressure on both siblings. While Charles struggled with this burden, Anne grew stronger and more independent due to high expectations. Her testimony in court showed her deep emotions, grief, pressure, and hidden truths. This moment was not just about the law, it was a release from the mask she had worn for years. What scars did she carry from living a life of duty? The scars and strength behind Anne's private life. Princess Anne has always been calm and composed, facing various challenges in her life. Her marriage to Mark Phillips began as a fairy tale but was marred by infidelity and scandal, including a child fathered by Mark outside the marriage. Instead of reacting with anger, Anne remained steady and unbroken. By 1992, her divorce was finalized, and she married Timothy Lawrence in a small, private ceremony. Despite her struggles, she prioritized her royal duties, seeking purpose rather than pity. A pivotal moment came during a court hearing when her long-buried emotions emerged. It allowed her to express her sacrifices for her family and the crown. However, her defining moment came on March 20, 1974, when she faced an attempted kidnapping in London. A man named Ian Ball tried to force her out of her car, but Anne bravely replied, "Not bloody likely," which helped buy time for her security team and a passerby who intervened. This incident saved her life and transformed her public image from a royal figure to a fearless individual. Later in court, Anne displayed that same courage, standing up against secrecy and tradition. Her testimony solidified her legacy, marking her not just as a royal, but as a heroine in history, a figure full of hope for the future of the crown. Is Catherine now the crown's secret weapon? For years, Kate has been seen as Prince William's poised wife, but Princess Anne's recent courtroom revelation has changed that perception. Anne revealed that Queen Elizabeth believed Catherine understood the true essence of service, not for glory, but because it's right. This acknowledgement reframed Catherine as a potential royal leader who handles scrutiny and personal challenges with dignity and strength. While others may chase fame, Catherine has remained grounded, mirroring Princess Anne's legacy. Anne's public endorsement of Catherine as the monarchy's future signifies a shift in perspective. As the royal family navigates modern criticism and change, Catherine embodies a bridge between tradition and progress, serving as a mother, mental health advocate, and relatable figure within the community. With this newfound view, the monarchy is seen as not merely about lineage, but compassionate leadership. Charles faces a future where the focus may shift from his reign to William and Catherine, who represent a kinder, more modern monarchy. Meanwhile, Anne, though never a queen, has emerged as the conscience of the crown, emphasizing the need for leadership driven by integrity and heart. Now the question remains, where do they go from here? Princess Anne's emotional testimony may have redefined the royal path, reminding us that the monarchy is not just a throne, it's a family and a legacy shaped by responsibility and service.